go on and start. Last lecture we took subject-verb agreement. قلنا the verb has to the verb has to agree with the subject in terms of number. عدد, okay? If we have a plural subject, our verb has to be plural. If we have a singular subject, our verb has to be singular. So just a quick exercise to check up on ourselves. Emily and Greg come to my house every Friday for lunch.
Come.
Thank you, very good. There is or are time to watch the movie.
There is.
There is, good, thank you. My friends who are in the band want me to play a musical instrument.
إذا ما حد بده يجاوب فهي want. لأنه my friends.
Very good. My father or my brothers are coming with me to the ball game. This one is complicated. تتذكروا قلنا في the rule of proximity. هون عندنا الconjunction or. صفى بدنا نعتمد على إيش؟ على الأقرب على الverb is the plural أو لا. لما بحال عندنا singular وعندنا plural. ما حدا عنده فكرة؟
ممكن لأنه نعتمد على ال brothers لأنها أقرب.
Oh, very good. Are, because brothers is closer to our verb coming. لو كان العكس، لو كانت معكوسة. My brother or my father ساعتها بصير is coming with me to the ball game. Everyone needs or need time to relax.
Everyone needs.
Everyone needs, very good. That bag of oranges look fresh.
looks أتوقع ترجع على that bag مش على الأورنجز صح؟ that
Very good. That bag of oranges looks fresh.
طب مس عشان looks fresh فيعني الفريش على البرتقال أنا عشان هيك يعني قلت لك لا بجوز لا يعني إنه looks fresh البرتقالات.
أوكي كان عندنا بالامتحان رح أغششكم سؤال من امتحانكم by the way. The man with all the birds عشان كان على نفس المسألة. lives on my street. هون is it live or lives on my street?
lives إذا بدك نفس الطريقة.
lives عشان إحنا عم بنتبع السبجكت الأساسي which would be man. هلا هون نفس الحالة. That bag of oranges looks fresh عشان our original subject bag. The oranges are umbrellaed under bag مشمولين تحت أو مشموسين تحت bag. The lacrosse team hopes to win the tournament next week.
team hopes. لحظة من الأسماء اللي حطيتيها collective nouns صح؟
أيوة team collective noun بنعامله معاملة singular.
مالت السينجولار noun.
So it be hopes. Your trousers need or needs to be cleaned.
needs
هلا pants بشكل عام trousers مشمولين مع pants بنعملهم معاملة plural. Because it's a pair of pants. مثل ما there are, you could say there's a pair of sunglasses or a pair of socks or a pair of shoes. Since it's a pair, we always treat it like it's plural. مثلا okay نحسبها على الزوار. My sunglasses would we say is or are dirty?
is
Is.
لا sunglasses مجموعة R dirty.
أيوة بنعملها كبلورال عشان إحنا نحكي عنه a pair of sunglasses. هو الحسبة غريبة بس مجرد there are two lenses because you have two eyes it's considered a pair. Same thing for shoes. Helen, we're talking about a pair of shoes, not an individual shoe. عشان مثلا انتوا when you guys go to buy shoes, do they sell you a single shoe? بظبط هيك؟
لا هو لازم pair.
أيوة they sell you the pair right away. You have to buy both shoes. You can't only buy one shoe. So you would say, for example, uncomfortable.
My shoes are.
My shoes are uncomfortable. Good. So in this case, your trousers needs or needs to be cleaned?
Need.
I would need. Some of the books on the shelf is ولا are dusty?
R اللي هو subject الأول.
Good. We said some of the books. When we say some يعني العدد كيف بيكون؟ بيكون واحدة؟
Two or more.
أيوة two or more. Unspecified but two or more. Correct. Even though the students like the class, a few thinks or think that it is too complicated.
A few think برضو لأنه في عدد.
أيوة because we have the word few here. So check our work. Everything is correct. Let me clear this up. So today we have basic sentence construction. Basic sentence construction is the gateway to forming grammatically correct sentences. Okay? So when we're talking about basic sentence construction, what are we talking about exactly? What does construction mean? إيش يعني construction?
اللي هي تركيبة الجملة الأساسية. يعني بشكل أساسي.
أيوة, very good. So English is a very structured language. When we start speaking English, we need to understand sentence construction, meaning how we put together our words to form a sentence. By the way, هو لا صالحنا إنه English is a very structured language. It's important to learn the basic parts of sentences and how they work to understand their place in a complete sentence. هلا إيش عنا? Our basic parts of a sentence. subject,
verb object.
verb, object. This is the most basic sentence, or let's say it's like the baseline, you know? By the way, you can have subject verb without an object as well. For example, this would be even more simpler. But usually subject verb object. وفي طبعا بينزاد عليه كمان بس to start off subject verb object. So قلنا إيش the basic parts include a subject which would be فعل صح؟ هلا هون عنا a verb phrase which we could also call a predicate. هلا in school احنا متعودين شو ناخذ subject verb object. هلا الأصح شوية لما نحكي subject predicate object or subject verb phrase object. هلا ايش فرق ال predicate or ال verb phrase عن ال verb لحال؟ حدا بعرف؟ هلا verb when we say verb بيكون قصدنا just the verb بس الفعل لحال. هلا predicate or verb phrase بيشمل ال verb مع ال auxiliary verb اللي هو ال helping verb. So if we were to say Katie is walking, let's say, to the store. لو احنا بنمشي على subject verb object subject verb object بس إذا احنا بدنا ايش subject predicate object is would be part of our predicate بيصير مشمول اللي هو
بس
is
دي ما
our helping verb.
بتلفظيها.
I'm sorry
عيدي لفظها بالله predicate ولا ايش هي؟
predicate
predicate.
لا الدي موجودة بس أنا my accent is a bit heavy. predicate
ما هو
predicate
اوكي
هو الدي موجود بس ما بينشد عليه. بس by the way you can say predicate وتشدي على الدي. It's all right. English isn't about what accent you're speaking with. It's about speaking correctly.
اوكي بس انا فكرتها سايلنت لانه انت يعني الاكسنت تبعك مبينها مش مبينه.
Yeah, I understand. زي كيف مثلا water for example يعني في أحرفين بيكونوا مش واضحين أمرات. So Katie is walking to the store is our helping verb or auxiliary verb. بصير مشمولة بالموضوع when we're saying our sentence construction is subject predicate object. And usually, but not always, we'll have our object. مش شرط يكون في object. We could مثلا for example a lot of times when you're answering a question ما بتعطوا الobject sometimes. For example لو قلنا
what do you do مثلا؟
yeah, what are you doing? You could say I'm studying. Or yeah, you could say I'm studying. حتى when we get into more colloquial speech اللي هو colloquial speech بيكون إنه conversations between people a more casual setting الحكي اليومي.
اليومي.
أيوة العامي يعني when we're not really focusing on grammatical rules. When we get into more colloquial speech بيكون كيف المبدأ شوي غير. For example, you could just say studying. If you're talking to a friend مش راح تحكوا I am studying history right now. ممكن تحكوا studying. What are you doing? Eating. Do you want to do anything? Sure. مش ضروري إنه I am eating or I am eating mac and cheese or yes I would love to do something. مو ضروري this type of formality in your speech. Let's get rid of these. Finally, we have an adverbial or adjunct is an optional part of a sentence that can be expressed by adverbs, adverbial phrases, or adverbial clauses. Optional means you can leave them out. Without them, the sentence will still make sense since they are not the grammatical basis of the sentence. These words are used to give more information about the basic idea. So this would be the extras that we use. لو قلنا مثلا Katie is walking to the store. Let's say Katie is walking fast. Our sentence is perfectly fine من دون كلمة fast. احنا مش بحاجة fast. But this gave us a teeny tiny bit more information عن كيف الverb تاعتنا عم بينفعل. How our verb is being done. Katie is walking. How is she walking? She is walking fast. But fast is optional here. انتوا حرين حابين تزيدوا بتزيدوا. So this would be considered an adverbial. The word fast in this situation. هلا part. First we have our subject. The subject indicates. By the way, something that indicates they let me think of the word in Arabic for a second. بالمعنى زي يؤشر على. The subject indicates the person or thing that performs the action. اللي هو الفاعل. It goes at the beginning of the sentence before the predicate. And it can be expressed by a pronoun, noun, or phrase. Phrase بالمعنى يعني noun phrase. The noun is used in its standard dictionary form, singular or plural. وبرضه بس بدنا نركز على شو subject verb agreement تاعتنا. We already know what subject verb agreement is. When it comes to using pronouns as the subject, the most often used are personal pronouns in the nominative case. Nominative بالمعنى لما الnoun يكون إيش the subject of a verb. Let's take a look at some basic English phrases. For example, I want to play. He needs to practice more. We will have pizza for dinner. Our subjects are pronouns.
he.
ما عم نحكي مثلا for example instead of he علي. And that's perfectly fine, both work. Your subject can be a pronoun عادي. We also have indefinite and negative pronouns. Say someone, somebody, something, everyone, everybody, everything, no one, nobody, nothing. These can also be used as subjects. For example, someone left their coat here. Or everybody wanted a slice of pie. No one came to my party. هدول indefinite and negative pronouns.
بس يعني النيجاتيف بروناون اللي هو no one و nobody.
زي
يعني
no
ما
one,
في حدا.
nobody, yes. Or nothing as well. هلا indefinite اللي بيكون مثلا غير specified بالمعنى. Everybody, somebody, something. When I say somebody انتم مش عارفين عن مين بحكي. ممكن أنا نفسي مش عارفة عن مين بحكي. زي كيف لو قلت لكم someone hit my car. ممكن أنا نزلت من بيتي سيارتي مصفوفة برا لقيته مخبوط. ما راح أحكي ليلى hit my car. ما بعرف أنا مين ضرب سيارتي. راح أحكي someone hit my car. فهمنا مبدأ الindefinite؟ when it's not quite specific. تمام. Then after our subject we have our verb or predicate. The predicate goes right after the subject and it is expressed by a verb. A verb tells us information about what the subject is doing. A predicate is a key part of constructing sentences in English because it shows when the action occurred, is happening, or will happen.
يعني ماضي مضارع أمر أو راح يصير مستقبل.
أيوة, very good. Past, present, future. There can be excuse me. There can be two verbs in the predicate, the main verb and our auxiliary verb اللي هو our helping verb. And helping verbs, it adds functional or grammatical meaning to the sentence. For example, I am waiting. Here, the predicate is am waiting, with wait as the main verb and am as the auxiliary verb, اللي هو بيكون our helping verb. In conjunction with ing, هذا ing بدللنا إنه إيش؟ present continuous. الفعل بعده مستمر. أنا بعدي بستنى. I did not finish waiting. I'm still waiting. Finally, we have our object. According to the construction of the sentences in English, an object is expressed by a noun, pronoun, or phrase, and it stands after the verb predicate and indicates the person or thing to which the action is directed. layman's terms or simpler explanation, اللي هو المفعول به. This is our object. In English we have two types of objects. There are direct objects and there are indirect objects. A direct object is what or to whom the action of the verb is directed. In other words, a word that receives the action. على receives the action right away. For example, Cindy brought a present. Present here would be a direct object. على Cindy brought a present. an indirect object, by the way, كمان نقطة. Our direct objects can stand alone. تمام? You can say Cindy brought a present. Meanwhile, indirect object بيكون معتمد على direct object. ما بظبط يكون عندكم جملة indirect object من دون direct object. بس العكس إنه يكون في direct object بلا indirect object عادي. قبل ما نتعمق أكتر وناخد more examples عشان the meeting has less than 1 minute left. إنه break 10 minutes عشان أرد أبعت اللينك. معلش الميتنج فاتح من فترة بس كان هالجروب مش جروبكم. So 10 minutes and we'll be back. يعطيكم العافية.